Welcome back, everybody. In the past year, many of us have added some greens to our lives and started gardening.
Yeah, but not all instant green thumbs here, and we may need some help. Like all of us need help, or at least I do. Luckily, we've got an expert right here with some answers for us. Garden guy Dale Kay. He joins us now. Hi, Dale.
Good morning to you. I got to mention really quick, it's so nice out here after the rain. Just love the smell of the garden after a little bit of rain.
And it's amazing how just things look better. I was noticing that even just yesterday and this morning, like things are greener. We needed the rain. It's helped just a little bit. So we asked 4 questions on Facebook and also our Buzz Instagram page, wondering, okay, what do you have? What questions do you have for Dale? So let's get right to it. We've got one from Katie. She says, how do I keep Japanese beetles off of my raspberry bushes? And maybe expanding that, Dale, I think just off of everything, because they seem to be everywhere right now.
Yeah, I was at a get-together on the 4th, and it was so windy on the 4th, and there was Japanese beetles like hitting me in the face, and that's when you know that they're around. And particularly with your edibles, like your raspberries, yeah, they're after those. And sometimes spraying them is tough because you don't want to upset the pollinators. Of course, you want to garden organically, you want those great natural flavors. So it's tough to spray some of those things, especially raspberries. So here are my tips. Firstly, you can buy this bug netting, and it's a really fine netting that you can drape over your raspberries, over your grapes, because Japanese beetles absolutely love both of those. So that's a really good tip. There's also a frost blanket or like a white mesh that you could also do the same thing with. I like the netting. It's a little bit more durable, doesn't rip in the wind and so forth. Another thing that you can do is there are actually some plants that will deter Japanese beetles. 2 of those I have handy right here. Any of your allium, like your garlic, your onions, your ornamental chives, like this one, and also marigolds will actually deter that beetle. And so I plant all of these around my veggies quite regularly, especially around all my beans.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have a huge issue with those, not only on our vegetables, but on my rose bushes. Dale, all I've ever really read is that there's not a really specific spray for it. You kind of just pick them off, squish them, and kill them, and that's it, right?
So a good little tease for you, Kendall, and it's so good to see you on the bus. So good to see you.
Hi.
The thing that I'll tease with next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday, I'm talking all about Japanese beetles, roses in particular. But what the females are doing right now, they're nesting right in your lawn, and you can use a milky spore product, and that will get rid of the eggs and the larvae. You can do that coming up in the fall here, early fall, and then again in early spring. But make sure you watch next Thursday in the 8 o'clock hour.
You're going to change my life. Okay. Kathy asked this question. My sweet potato vine is growing like crazy. Can I cut it back?
You can. Okay, so sweet potato vine is kind of one of those very aggressive growers, very popular. It's almost bulletproof, and you can see it kind of just runs and runs forever. You can give it a quick prune. You don't even need special pruners. Even garden scissors would be fine, and that will kind of clean it up. A lot of people like that trailing, but sometimes it just trails and trails and trails and goes forever. Yes, you can prune them even now.
Okay, looks good. Okay, then Danielle asks, is there any way to save my browning? Is it an Arborvitae? I don't know what that plant is. Sorry. Arborvitae?
Arborvitae. Look
Arborvitae.
Right over there, Strummy. That is an arborvitae right there, usually used or grown as a privacy. That's exactly what that thing is doing. That particular variety is Techni. It's pretty much the bulletproof go-to variety. You really have to understand, why is it going brown? Is it coming brown out of winter? That's usually could be winter burn. We can stop that by wilt stop. You can apply that in the fall, also wrapping in burlap. Also transplanting shock, if they're going brown at this time of year, yellowy brown, transplanting shock, you can mitigate that with a root stimulator, which is actually kind of stops the shock of transplanting. And then also drought is also a common problem why plants will fail, particularly arborvitaes as well. Keeping a nice even amount of water with a soaker hose like this will also help mitigate drought stress as well.
Yeah, we've had a hard time up until today, essentially. Finally, Dale, Dee Dee asks, how do we identify the sucker growth from a tomato plant? She says she wants to make sure it's indeed that before removing it. 1, why is that important, and also how do you identify it?
Okay, the sucker, as far as identification goes, they usually just come right, that's a sucker right there. It comes right up out of the margin, either of the branch and the stem, or sometimes they'll come right out of the stem itself. But this little guy right here is the sucker, and you can just simply pinch it and remove it with your fingers. The idea behind that is sometimes it's to reduce the amount of foliage so you get plenty of sun so the fruit ripens nice. Also allowing a lot of airflow around your fruit. Some people do take care of the suckers, some people don't, but the reasons to do that is airflow and then also nice sunshine around all that fruit so it ripens.
Makes sense.
Now I need you to come and shoo the bunnies away from my vegetable garden. I don't know how they got in our enclosure, but they did. The bunnies are insane this year.
They are.
I know they need to eat too, but man.
I've got 3 families. I got 3 families in my backyard right here. It's not a garden, it's a zoo back here.
Well, it makes me feel better that it happens to you
that's a whole
too.
other subject.
Garden Guy,
Yes, they're
okay.
everywhere.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much.